Harvest of Shadows. In the desolate woods of Black Hollow, the silent whispers of the trees carried old tales of the land, a place where the wild and mystical intertwined. The local hunters spoke of the immense deer that roamed the woods, boasting antlers that reached the sky and eyes like pools of darkness. Legends whispered that these weren't ordinary deer, and those who dared to hunt them never returned. Despite the warnings, a group of avid hunters decided to brave the cursed woods. Among them were Tom, the seasoned veteran, Greg, the eager novice, and two brothers, Ben and Aaron. With their gear packed and confidence high, they set out one crisp autumn morning, excited for the thrill of the chase. As they ventured deeper into the forest, the trees grew denser, casting ominous shadows on the ground. The air was thick with a peculiar stillness. It felt as if the forest itself was holding its breath, paying close attention to their every move. Yet, the thrill of the hunt pushed them forward. Hours passed, and the quartet found themselves in a secluded glade where the ground was carpeted with fallen leaves. Suddenly, they caught sight of something extraordinary, a magnificent stag, larger than any they had seen before. Its fur shimmered like obsidian, and its antlers twisted upwards, crowned with an eerie glow. The men stared in disbelief, a mix of awe and greed igniting their faces. "Shoot it," Greg urged, his voice trembling with excitement. Tom raised his rifle, but deep down he hesitated. There was something unsettling about the creature's gaze, a depth of understanding that made him uneasy. But the pull of the chase was too strong. As Tom's finger tightened on the trigger, the stag turned and bounded effortlessly into the dense underbrush. "Let's follow it," cried Ben, his competitive spirit flaring. The hunters surged into the woods, leaving caution behind as they followed the stag deeper into the heart of Black Hollow. The sun began to set, the forest dimming with each passing moment. The shadows lengthened, and an oppressive darkness settled around them. The stag seemed to glide through the trees, always out of reach, leading them further into the unknown. After what felt like hours, the hunters finally skidded to a stop in another clearing, panting and disoriented. "We need to turn back," Tom insisted, glancing around nervously. The stillness of the woods felt alive, breathing with anticipation. Suddenly, the ground trembled as a herd of deer emerged from the shadows, their eyes glinting like shards of glass. But these weren't ordinary deer. They were twisted and wrong, their forms contorted in grotesque ways, with sharp teeth glistening in the dim light. "Something's not right," Aaron whispered, backing away slowly. Before they could react, the lead deer lunged at Greg, knocking him to the ground with a terrible force. The others watched in horror as the herd closed in, eerily silent, their hooves barely making a sound on the forest floor. One by one, the deer attacked, their movements surreal and unnatural. Tom let out a strangled scream, but it was swallowed by the woods as the remaining hunters fell one after the other, the forest's primal hunger awakening. Laughter echoed eerily through the trees, an unsettling chorus that reverberated within the shadows. The once majestic creatures had become something far more terrifying, a twisted representation of nature's revenge. As darkness enveloped the glade, only Tom remained, huddled behind a tree. The deer encircled the area, their eyes glowing with hungry malice. He could hear the rustling of leaves, reminding him of the warnings from before. The woods had claimed the hunters, their desires and greed devoured by nature itself. Feeling a tug at his sanity, Tom fought against the urge to sleep, knowing that to do so would mean surrendering to the darkness. But the pull of the forest was strong, and as fatigue washed over him, he closed his eyes for just a moment. When he opened them, the clearing was empty. The hunters were gone, their cries lost to the cold wind. He rose to his feet, trembling as he stumbled away from the clearing, only to hear soft footsteps behind him. The hunt was not yet over. From that day on, whispers spread through the nearby towns about the lost hunters of Black Hollow. Local hunters talked in hushed tones about the deer who roamed the woods, eyes glinting with the depth of shadows, waiting for the next careless soul drawn into their domain. Nature had taken its toll, and as the moonlight filtered through the trees, it would continue to do so, reminding all that in the heart of the woods, prey and predator often wore the same skin. Copy. Regenerate.